In the offline test with no AI, performance was actually slightly worse when changing the page file settings. The differences were small, but the default system managed page file consistently came out on top. So actually this is what I was expecting to see, nothing too surprising there. But when I tested the L2 prefetcher, I saw something a little bit more interesting. With L2 prefetcher disabled, average FPS dropped by almost 10%, but at the same time, 0.1% lows were actually over 10% higher. That metric usually correlates with smoothness, so even though the average FPS was lower, it could potentially feel smoother in certain situations. Once I moved to online testing, the results tightened up quite a bit. For the page file tests, everything was basically within margin of error, but default still came out slightly ahead in the end. And for the L2 prefetcher, that large improvement in 0.1% lows basically disappeared. Average FPS was still lower with it disabled, but there was no longer any real upside. So overall, leaving both your page file and prefetcher settings on default ended up being the best option. I see a lot of these people showing magic tweaks that give you extra performance beyond the fundamentals, but really doesn't seem like there is one. The best thing you can do is enable Expo, make sure your U clock and M clock are synced at 1:1, and push your F clock as high as possible. And these days, that's where you can get gains in performance from tuning.